Well, that's two movies now. This was just. Ugh.
Every day when you're driving into work, and everybody is a jerk because they all hate their lives.
So, I just finished watching The Human Centipede 2 full sequence. And I gotta say, you know how the first one implied all the graphic stuff? This one showed everything. I had to take a break so many times watching this one. Gah, this was just borderline messed up. What is the film about? Well, Martin is a mentally disturbed loner who lives with his mother in a bleak housing project. He works a night shift as a security guard in an equally grim and foreboding underground parking complex. To escape his dreary existence, Martin loses himself in the fantasy world of the cult horror film The Human Centipede. Fetishizing the meticulous surgical skills of the gifted Dr. Heiser, whose knowledge of the human gastroenteric system inspires Martin to attempt the unthinkable. By this time having a centipede of 12 people. 12. So yeah, I just finished watching the movie, and unlike the first film, is Human Centipede 2 was really graphic and really disturbing in just about every way. In the first one, it always cut away from all the graphic stuff. This movie just straight up shows all of it. And honestly, I wasn't as bored this time as I was with the first one. But this movie was still not good. It was still a terrible movie. Yeah, I hate to say that to those who do like this series. This movie is still terrible in a lot of ways. Like, here's some of the most disgusting scenes in the whole film. Like, there's this infamous birth scene where one of the centipede victims ends up giving birth when she's trying to escape to this baby, and then she drives off. And as soon as she drives off, she steps on the baby's head, crushing it on screen, and you even see it. Like, holy hell. What kind is this? And what else is there? Oh, it's just. This film's just. Whatever. Like, why does it still terrible film while it's a minor improvement over the first? Unlike the first film, the only thing it has going for it is a shocking premise, no real cinematic value, and there's still no real plot to speak of other than creating that human centipede. The violence and gore, like I've mentioned already several times in this review, is very extreme and excessive. Like, this movie was released in theaters unrated, got a limited release, and only had midnight showings. And it was even banned in the United Kingdom, too. Like, it was really that controversial when it was released. And once again, the characters are flat, have no development, are completely unlikable. And since there's sheer darkness of everything, there's nothing and no one to even care about. And the film was actually shot in black and white because of how graphic it was. And there's kind of no reason for the film to appear in black and white. Well, even though it makes it look like a vintage 60s film, besides just trying to be edgy and dark, because if you purchase the whole complete sequence DVD, you can literally just watch the movie in color, so it's kind of pointless. And there's an example of hypocrisy. Like, Martin, the main character, Earth's mom, defends her husband even after it was implied Martin as an infant, not depicted. Yet when shows Martin and when she discovers Martin's scrapbook that resembles the first movie, she destroys it. So she's in a way okay with her husband doing bad things, but not her own son in a way. Whatever. Thankfully, she dies, gets killed in the film, but still, this was just like okay. If you are a fan of the first film, you'll probably love this movie or just wanted to see the gore from the first one. Maybe you'll get a kick out of this one because like I said, this movie is downright graphic and really gory and gruesome and very explicit. Like if it were rated by the MPAA, this movie would be rated NC-17. I wasn't as bored by this film as the first film. I mean, it was still a terrible movie, but it's not as boring this time around. So, and thankfully, it was actually relied on. Actually, did rely on the gore this time around. And oh yeah. But if you hated the first film, you're gonna hate this movie too. I just recommend that if that's the case, if you are not, if you have a very don't have a strong stomach, stay away from this film. And if you do watch it, don't watch this movie on a full stomach. Watch it on an empty stomach, and don't watch anything when you're eating. I mean, don't watch this movie when you're eating a thing. Are my recommendations. So, how would I rank the Human Centipede 2 full sequence? I am going to rank the Human Centipede 2 full sequence a 4 out of 10. Well, now there's 2 down and 1 left to go. And that's the third film set in the prison. The one that feels more like a comedy. Ugh. Oh. Great. Apparently it's even worse than the first 2 movies. But if I review the first 2, gotta review that one as well, but I'm not gonna watch the third one right now, guys. But I'm just probably gonna stop there for today or try it tonight and then review it tomorrow, but all in all, that'll be it for this review, guys. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.